I'm going to call up Sonia and Meredith. Do you want to both come up or just one at a time? We've already covered contingency fees, so we'll just deal with Meredith and Sonia and their updates. At the First Timers Breakfast this morning, I made a comment about how it's very important that what you receive, the information you receive here is passed on to your members, that we're trying to give you a bunch of information that will then flow through to those that you represent. This is true for everything that you hear, but especially for the trips. One of the concerns that we've had as an executive is that you might hear about these trips, but we're having trouble or struggling to get the information of these trips to your members. So just as one example, if there are ways that we can assist in giving more information to you about those trips so that you can pass them on, please let us know, because it's disappointing when we go to different areas and they have no idea that there's any trips that are planned or any trips that are on the horizon. So, so just reach out to us if you want some more information. Okay, I'm going to now start with Meredith McLennan, who is our real estate chair of our committee, and she's going to give you an update.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize. I'm just at the tail end of a cold, so my voice, I'm not trying to sound sultry and sexy for you this morning. I will do my best.
You're not trying, but succeeding.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So I've been the real estate chair for FOLA since January of 2014, and I cannot tell you what a pleasure it has been to work with the executive on FOLA and to work with all of the local law associations, and I look forward to continuing to do the best I can for and with the real estate bar. So I thought I'd just start with a little bit of a background. So at the November 2013 plenary, the presidents unanimously passed a resolution to ask the Law Society to establish a working group or committee, including the direct involvement of Law Pro, to examine the state of real estate practice and problems faced by real estate lawyers, with the objective of developing a plan to address identified problems in the long-term interests of the public of Ontario. And at each plenary since then, I've been reporting on the progress of our work, and I'm happy to continue that tradition today. So FOLA's Real Estate Committee is involved in a number of standing committees, the first of which is the committee that came out of that 2013 FOLA plenary resolution, which is the Real Estate Liaison Group. This group was created in 2014 in response to that 2013 plenary resolution, and is a committee of the Law Society. It's comprised of benchers, Law Society staff, Law Pro, the president and CEO, and two of the vice presidents of Law Pro, members of FOLA, and the OBA members. It's chaired by Ross Earnshaw, who is a bencher, and it's a forum to for the bar to work with the Law Society and with Law Pro to discuss issues impacting the bar. The next committee that we're involved in, a standing committee, is the Real Estate Action Committee, and this is a committee of FOLA and the OBA, which I chair, and which regularly meets to set the agenda and develop unified positions on issues for the real estate bar for discussions at the Real Estate Liaison Group. We're also involved actively with the Working Group on Lawyers and Real Estate, and this is a provincial working group which was created a number of years ago to raise awareness among stakeholders about the value of legal advice and representation that lawyers provide to consumers and to lenders, and to assist the bar in developing viable practices while maintaining high standards that the public is entitled to expect. This working group has taken the lead on a number of issues, including accessing the standard OREA, Ontario Real Estate Association forms for lawyers, publishing a suggested fee schedule for real estate lawyers, and developing the set of standardized closing documents that we talked about in May, and that I'll talk a little bit about more in a little bit. In addition to the standing committees, we've been involved in a number of ad hoc committees as well, most recently being a committee that met with the Ministry of Finance with respect to the new land transfer tax information statements and the new non-resident speculation tax. So there's been a number of committees in my tenure as real estate chair that are ad hoc, very specific committees that we've been involved with as well. So that's just a little bit of background. Now I'm going to give just a brief update on some of the current issues that we've been working on since the last plenary. The first of which is the local real estate representatives. So if you've been at plenary before, you've heard me talk about this, but we've been on a mission to confirm a local real estate rep in every county and district in the province. And if a local real estate rep has not been identified in your county or district, then all the real estate information and requests for assistance will be sent to the president of your association. So if you're here for the first time as your president and you don't have a local designated real estate rep, you're it. So if you don't have one, you might want to go find one. If your real estate rep has changed, please let us know. Let Mike Raz know, let me know, let Kelly know, let anybody at FOLA know, and we keep our list updated, and we regularly circulate information of relevance to the bar. To the real estate bar via that list, and ask those representatives of each county and district to pass that along to the local real estate lawyers in your community. The next thing I'm going to talk about is, a new version of a software that all real estate lawyers used. So TerraView is the land registration and information system software that's used by all real estate lawyers in the province. We received and circulated a letter from the Director of Titles for the province confirming that a pilot project for the new web-based version of TerraView was launched in Simcoe and Niagara Land Registry offices in October, and the new version of the software is going to be rolled out regionally across the province starting on January 8th, 2018. We've been working with the ministry and with TerraNet to facilitate demonstrations of the new version of TerraView throughout the province. If your county, your association has not been scheduled for a demo and you want one, let us know. Reach out to Mike Raz or to myself, and we'll help coordinate with the ministry and with TerraNet. They're on a little bit of a tour right now, going around and doing a demo of the new software. Once it becomes mandatory, you'll have, I can't remember if it's 6 or 8 weeks, and then you won't have access to the old system. So it is important for real estate lawyers to be on the ball and on top of this. Standard closing documents. At the May 2017 plenary, for anybody who was not here, I'll let you know that there was a unanimous resolution that was passed approving and endorsing the use of the standard residential closing documents prepared by the Working Group on Lawyers in Real Estate. So in that resolution, FOLA and each local law association agreed to promote the use of the documents to solicitors in their associations and communities. The idea with the standard closing documents is to end the repetition in the old forms and to eliminate any statements, warranties, or declarations that are not required to be provided under the Agreement of Purchase and Sale. Vendors and their lawyers should not be delivering anything that is not required under the Agreement of Purchase and Sale, as doing so can create liabilities that are not required under the agreement. In addition, the use of the standard closing documents can really reduce the time a lawyer spends reviewing, revising, and negotiating closing documents. These documents are available on our website. They're also available in English and in French on the Working Group's website. And the link to the website is in the report that was published on the website and circulated. Kathleen Waters, the President and CEO of Law Pro, and Jeff Lem, the Director of Titles and a Law Society venture, have both sent letters of support for the use of these standard closing documents to FOLA, and copies of those letters are in my report, which is in the materials. If you're looking to encourage your local lawyers to do it, if you would like anybody from FOLA to come and help have discussions with your association, we're very happy to do that. Law Pro and a few other lawyers recently met with the Toronto Lawyers Real Estate Association, or the Toronto Lawyers Association, put on a program for their real estate lawyers talking about this, and it reached a good reception, I'm told. There were about 79 lawyers who showed up. They explained the rationale for them, they went through them, how you use them, Law Pro. We're going to be working with Law Pro and possibly some other folks to see if we can get a little roadshow done up and go on a tour to discuss the standard closing documents. It is very helpful for a real estate practice. So we're calling on all of the local real estate reps of each county and district to encourage the use of these standard closing documents within their association. And what my ask is that you let us know once your association has adopted the use of these so that we can keep track, and that will also help, I think, motivate other parts of the province. The more associations that are using them, the more widely spread use they are in the province. I think, Eldon, you've got something coordinated in your association for early December to have this discussion as well. So I think that's a good thing. Feel free to talk to me after in the hospitality room. Send me an email at any time, and I'm happy to help coordinate something on this. Quickly, I've only got a couple more things. A three-party document registration agreement. You like my picture of the three people in a party? It's a three-party document. So when e-reg was first introduced in Ontario, escrow closing procedures were developed to deal with the delivery of purchase funds, keys, off-title documents. The Joint Committee on Electronic Registration of Title Documents adopted a form of DRA, or Document Registration Agreement, that was published on the Law Society website and referenced in the Law Society guidelines for electronic registration of title documents. So this DRA is widely in use throughout the province, but it has also commonly been modified when there are 3 or more lawyers involved in a transaction. For instance, when a lender has a separate counsel than the borrower and the vendor. And so we made a request to the Law Society that the standard form of three-party DRA that has been in use, that people have modified on their own, that be endorsed by the Law Society and published on their website the same way that the standard DRA has been. And we are pleased to report that after about a year and a half, we've reviewed it at the Law Pro has reviewed it, other members of the Real Estate Liaison Group have reviewed it, and the Law Society earlier this week confirmed that they've approved the standard form of three-party DRA. They're in the process of having it translated into French, and once that's done, they're going to post it on their website. So that's an ask that we asked for that has been accomplished, and I think that's great for the bar as well. On September 29th of this year, the Law Society amended the rules regarding residential real estate advertising. The new rules require that all advertising of prices for residential real estate transactions must be all-inclusive, subject to certain allowable disbursements that can be in addition to the all-inclusive price. Other than these specified disbursements, if you advertise a price for a residential real estate transaction, you cannot charge anything more than the advertised price, regardless of what happened in the transaction. This is not what our proposal to the advertising committee stated. In fact, it's the opposite of what we stated, but these are the new rules. The new rules don't apply to fee quotes given to a client on a particular transaction. So if you get a phone call saying, how much will you charge me to do this deal, it doesn't have to be all-inclusive. These are advertisements to the public. So an individual fee quote on a one-on-one basis does not fall into that. But if you have a website that says, you insert your purchase price and then we'll calculate what your land transfer tax and then we'll tell you what your estimated fees and disbursements will be, that does fall within these advertising rules because that's available to the public. And so if you do have one of those functions on your website, that has to comply with the new rules now, which means you're not going to be able to charge anything more than has been produced, spit out from that website. We've been advocating for a reliable, accessible, timely, and irrevocable system of moving funds between lawyers for quite some time now. When e-reg came in, we could close transactions remotely, but the one last missing piece of this is how do we move funds in an efficient, irrevocable, timely manner. We don't have that yet, but we continue to work with Law Society and Law Pro with respect to this issue, and we're going to continue to do so. Finally, I can't be at a podium in front of lawyers without putting in a plug for the next benchers elections. Solicitors are historically underrepresented in our governing bodies. Out of the 48 elected benchers at the Law Society, there are presently 3 with real estate experience. The FOLA Real Estate Committee actively encouraged and supported solicitors in the 2015 Law Society bencher elections, and we were pleased that we had 19 candidates with solicitor practices. We will once again be encouraging solicitors, and in particular real estate lawyers, to run for bencher. Convocation sets all kinds of rules that affect our practice, and when 3 out of the 48 elected benchers, plus you've got 5 paralegal benchers, plus you've got 8 non-lawyer benchers, that's a lot of people, and 3 of them have any experience with real estate. We want to encourage more real estate lawyers to run for bencher. The next bencher election may seem like it's a long way away. It's the spring of 2019. That's only a year and a half from now. The election is provincial, and I believe that the best way to get elected is to have name recognition. It's not too early to start thinking of this, so if you or any solicitor or real estate lawyer in your association is interested, now is the time to start really working on that. And please contact me, have somebody you know who might be interested contact me. I'm happy to help in any way I can. I'm happy to see if I can facilitate some speaking engagements to get, you know, some name recognition out there throughout the province. There are lots of opportunities, and I'm prepared to do whatever I can possibly do to help. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. Thanks very much, Meredith.